Everyone comes to the question of God's existence from a worldview context. One important theistic argument first made its appearance in the work of St. Augustine. It was his only attempt to formulate a direct argument for God's existence and is known as the argument from truth. It has been developed since by other Christian thinkers. One of the preconditions of any meaningful communication between people is the assumption that we all share the same rational categories in our minds. One important question concerns how we can account for this remarkable conviction. Can the existence of what we call truth be accounted for adequately by a naturalistic explanation as opposed to a personal one? This seems implausible because, as we have seen in a previous section, a naturalistic account bypasses mind and the intelligence, while truth is in essence an issue of mind, a mental category. This argument can be outlined in the following way. First, truth exists. It's not difficult to refute the position there is no such thing as truth. All that is needed is to inquire whether that statement itself is true. If it is, truth exists. If it is not, truth exists. Secondly, truth is unchangeable. What is true at any time will always be true. True propositions are eternally true. The proposition 2 + 2 = 4, or the proposition I visited my friend on the 24th of January in Ottawa, will always be true. If truth were changeable, then even naturalism might only be true today, but untrue tomorrow, and so is hardly worthy of any allegiance. Thirdly, even if the whole universe were to cease to exist, truth would still endure. It would be impossible for truth to cease to be, because even if it were possible for truth to die, it would always remain true that truth had died. Thus, to deny the eternality of truth is always self-defeating. Truth also is mental. The existence of truth presupposes the existence of minds. Without the mind, truth cannot exist, because truth is a proposition, a meaning, a thought, a mental construct. Here materialism fails. For naturalism, all thought is the result of mechanical necessity. But changes in atomic arrangement, that's physical motion, can be neither true nor false. They are what they are. One physical motion cannot be truer than another. In naturalism, there is no mind to offer a physical explanation of reality. If there is no mind, there is no truth, and therefore materialism cannot be true. With no mind, no such thing as logical reasoning from necessary laws exists. By inference, the materialist cannot provide a valid argument to justify his position. Truth is then superior to our minds. Truth is not simply subjective or individualistic. Certain truths are universal. Beliefs do vary, but truth does not. Our minds do not judge truth, but rather truth judges our minds, as we have all experienced in math class. If truth and the mind were identical, then it would be changeable and subject to error, rendering rationality and knowledge impossible. Thus, truth must then transcend reasoning and any individual or collective minds. Therefore, there must be a mind higher than the human mind in which truth resides. This leads us to the conclusion that truth is God. Truth must be grounded on something real. This ground cannot be perishable or accidental, since truth is eternal and immutable. It must be grounded in an eternal and immutable mind. Only God possesses these attributes. So God, as Scripture says, is truth. The propositions that may be known are the thoughts of God, a personal and living God.
Thank you for listening to this message brought to you by the Ezra Institute for Contemporary Christianity. To learn more about the Ezra Institute's mission to advance the Lordship of Christ, please visit www.ezrainstitute.ca.